Right, everyone, this is the month ahead. Obviously, we're looking at March. The way I work, my brain's already in April, but we are looking at March. And it's just to give you, this is my insight into the month ahead when it comes to love and relationships and work and money and whatever spirit want to chuck at me in the middle of it all as well. So as I say, if you have any questions, scribble some notes while I'm going, take some notes. My intention is to send you the recording of it, whether that be I think that will probably be the video rather than the audio, but that is the intention. So March, we have a lot of energy going on in March. So this is a good one to come and listen to. And it starts already because we will already be, as we hit March, we've already got Venus in Pisces. And that is going to be there up right through until the 21st of March. So it literally is the majority of the month of March. And that is why it is so dominant. Now, Venus, did you hear my cock up in my week ahead? Have you caught up, Anne? So Venus, just letting some other people in. Venus is a very dominant one, regarded as the goddess of love. And then that energy is blending in with Pisces. So it's all about love, forgiveness. That is what the month, hi Fee, that is what the month of March is about. But that doesn't mean it's all about love and relationships, because love and forgiveness can come in other areas of your life, other aspects, and very, very much so with self. So many of you may need to do some inner work, or you may discover it as the month progresses through other people triggering things in you, that you actually have some inner work to do, which centers around loving yourself better and forgiving yourself. And when we are forgiving other people, remember what we are really doing is we are releasing ourselves from that experience by offering ourselves forgiveness as well for our part in the experience. A lot of the time when we hold on to past experiences, we think it is to do with the other person, and it's not. It's to do with us and us seeing ourselves as having some kind of, we'll call it failing, and that is not the case. So just be mindful that March could be a month for a lot of inner work if you've got work to do. All right, and it will be externals that trigger it and make that aware to you. So it is one of those months where my clients will be hearing me saying, so stop and ask yourself, what is this really about? Is this really about the socks not being in the washing basket? Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. It's not about that at all. What's really going on? Look a little bit deeper within before you react externally would be my advice. We do need to be a lot more forgiving and compassionate this month with our connections. It is also a month for dropping your guard and your boundaries in order to let some love in. There is no point starving yourself of love, thinking that you are taking care of yourself, protecting yourself or anything like that, when in reality what you are doing is you are denying yourself. And if you deny yourself of love, then so will life, so will the universe. It's always going to respond with the main messages that you are carrying, and they're often on a much deeper level. So just be aware of that. If you are on, with everything, there is a negative end to this spectrum. So if you're going to dive off the deep end into the negative, then that is about being made to aware that you are deluded, you're deceiving yourself. And that's how you're avoiding the self-love. Or it could be that you realize that, I don't know, your boss or someone or whoever is actually, there's a bit of deception and a bit of delusion going on there. But what we have to be very mindful of is not sliding into what we call the victim mode this month. This is a month for love. I want you all to get in that love vibration, because that is how we create with the universe. Any questions, drop them in the chat box on that point if they are relevant to this. But it is just about feeling the love, being gentler with ourselves, gentler with others, so that life can be gentler with us. Okay, so it is about loving yourself as much as loving other people. Everyone looks for a relationship, but your first and most important relationship is the one that you are having with yourself. And for many, that will be highlighted this month, especially as, do you remember, if you've been watching my month ahead or my weekly, we are now in the shadow phase of the Mercury retrograde. So we are now having to act, sort out, fix, shift, shake up, get rid of whatever the drama, the issues were, the problems that became highlighted in that Mercury retrograde season. So which is a 3 weeks. So you've now got about 3 weeks to be sorting that out as well. So it is a clear out season as well, which is why I say don't be surprised if you've got to do the inner work as well as the outer. Now, when we get to the 16th of March, we are then going to feel all fired up, charged up and ready. All right, and we suddenly have this real driven energy coming in, and it's the sun that is powering us up. So I'm hoping that is a literal as well, because God knows we could do with some sunshine now. But yeah, the 16th of March should see you coming out. Life will feel like it is speeding up. I have to say, I personally, in business and things, am feeling that already. I already haven't got enough hours in the day. Need to level up, need to level up, need to level the business up. But it will feel as if it is speeding up because we have got this real drive to succeed when it comes to work and business, all right? So it doesn't matter if you're in employment or if you have your own business, or a mixture of both, that energy will impact across all of that. If you are not working, then it's about getting stuff done in your daily life, the things that take up your daily life time. Okay, the hours in your day. So we should be feeling much more determined, much more driven than ever to achieve our goals. If you haven't got some goals, I'm going to kick your ass and say, for fuck's sake, get some goals. How can we pull you forwards? If you're trundling over here and churning up the past, work towards a goal, whether it's a personal goal, a study goal, a business goal. I don't actually care. Lose weight goal, I don't care. But get a goal that is about your future self to move away from your past self, okay? Because we've got to be always growing, always changing, always developing. It is also, as always, when I'm coaching on business, I always say to people, you've got to have a clear out, you've got to have a sort out, make space for the new energy to come in, make space for what you're trying to create to come in. We only ever hold so much energy in this world. So again, this is a great month to have that clear out, and obviously internally, but I'm also going to say clear your desk, get rid of anything that's broken, that no longer is of any use in your life. If you've got messy rooms, messy workspaces, sort it out. And that does include your garage and the cupboards. Yeah, if you're one of these that hides everything in a cupboard, I'm not going to point any fingers in this moment, but if you are someone who hides things in cupboards, so everything looks spick and span, you need to clear your cupboards out. Yeah, clear your closet out, as we say. It's all symbolism, okay? But it is also about getting rid of bad habits and getting rid of that messiness that may still be around us, all right? So it is a month for ambition, whether that is in business or in your personal life as well. Lots of positive driven energy should be going through us as we power up through the month of March. Because of that, we can become very attractive. Ta-da! Fingers crossed. So you might want to get your makeup bag out at last, especially if you're single. Like me, I've always find my face in the bottom of a bag somewhere. But it is very much about, we should be, if you are doing your stuff and your ooze, I think Fee's just drowned herself in whatever she's drinking. If it's about doing your stuff, you know, getting this work done, getting this inner stuff, you should actually be much more confident. And I'm telling you now, confidence equals sexy. All right. Now, even if you're not looking for a relationship, what that does is it is more attractive even on a business level and with the people that you are working with. People aren't attracted to meek and mild. Yeah, especially this year, because it's about leadership. It's a leadership year. Yes, John, shave your legs, love. But it is, but it is about oozing confidence, which is sexy, and even business is sexy. If you're on the branding webinar recently, you will have been listening to how that is, how branding is about being sexy, basically. All right. So, and it is the same in your own energy. When you are confident, you are what we call sexy, you are more attractive, so you can pull in potential relationships, whether it is personal ones or business ones. So March, if you are in a leadership role in whatever you do, then March can be a fantastic month for you. And especially if you are using this newfound power, this energy, this attraction to help other people. So use it well, use it wisely, and the universe will reward you for that. So yes, we should be far more attractive than usual. All right. It might be the sunshine is adding to that, who knows? But make use of that energy, whether it's in your personal or your business life. When we get to the 23rd, we are needing to watch for making very rushed decisions, because we've got this newfound confidence, we're buzzing, we're driven, if we're plugged in and turned on, as we call it. What that means is that you are high vibing and you are attracting and you are pulling stuff in. So we just need to watch, though, because we can be overly confident when it comes to making decisions. Now, I don't say that to push you down and quash you. I just say that to remind you to stop, breathe, and center yourself and make a balanced choice. Okay. Now, because we are so driven, the second half of March, there is a possibility that other people may frustrate us. All right. And we need to watch for being short-tempered. We need to watch for coming across as aggressive. We need to watch for saying the wrong things, so God help me. But we need to watch for all of that because it can lead to disagreements. It can lead to arguments. I don't feel any malicious energy as I connect with that. But what I am seeing and feeling is, you know, when you're just so determined and this is right and everything, and you butt heads with someone who doesn't want to come out the comfort zone, which is huge this month, or is dragging their heels, or just isn't open to change. That's how it feels. All right. So just be aware of that. So because of that, personal relationships can come under a bit of a strain this month if it progresses into that energy. I mean, you're going to be in that energy if you are literally in a, you know, we get to a place in life where we are in a different place to the people in our space. Yeah, you see it in friendship circles and things like that, and people need to fall away because you're not vibing at the same level, you're not connecting, there's becomes a disconnection and lack of understanding, and people cannot get you because you're just in such a different place in your life. That is where I can see these disagreements coming in. In regards to past relationships and communication, then why would you go backwards? This is a time for going forwards. If you're going backwards, then that is through fear. That is through fear of letting go, standing alone, and stepping forwards. This is about moving forwards in a positive way. If you've got rid, especially through Mercury retrograde, of people or situations that put you into a negative energy, a negative emotional mental state, why on earth would you now want to bring that forwards? All right. So there is this need to let go, take the mind off the past events, out of past emotion, and focus on where you are going and how you want things to be. Does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense, because it really is about stepping forwards and stepping forwards in the self-love energy that this month is about. All right, lovely. You know, I'm working psychically on a rape case, you know, and it will come to a head this month, which is beautiful timing. But it is like, sometimes people come in to, and every time this girl gets ahead, there's a distraction in the court case, he brings something else in. And it's a classic example of how a negative from the past, she is doing fantastically, but a negative energy entity from the past comes in to you off your path. All right, but they can only do that if you allow it. Okay, so I have lots of conversations with clients who we don't even use the names of the people. We use nicknames or simply X or whatever, so that we just aren't even connecting with them energetically, vibrationally. We're not allowing their energy to come back into the equation because we are focused on moving forward. But yeah, step forwards and think very carefully through decisions about going backwards in March. This is a success month. This isn't the month to go backwards. I mean, yes, many of us will be returning back to doing work and roles that we've done in the past, but you should be bringing a new vibe into that. That's very different if that is your thing. Okay, so use your power to help others as well as help yourself. Okay, and watch for those quick decisions, watch for those disagreements, don't be bullied into things. And I put into my VIP's email today, this is the month to learn the art of changing the subject. That's my survival tool that I'm going to equip you all with. Learn to change the subjects or just completely blank. What you know will be a trigger. Okay, so I'm not going there. I am not going there. I am not rising to that. So definitely put a lot of thought before you speak, or be mindful that it may be you on the receiving end of it. All right, so again, just do what suits you best. Okay, so as we move towards the end of the month, we will be back to wanting that companionship, wanting that feeling of being loved and valued, and making that connection with somebody or with those around us. We will really know where our love sources come from, who to connect with, who our tribe is, all of that. And that is the process. That is the process of most of March. Does that make sense? So because March has all been about this self-love and this love vibration and loving your life, loving those in it and all of that, and being very forgiving to yourself as well as others in order to move connections forward lovingly, we are then going to know our value, our worth much more. So therefore, whether it's romantically or not, you will want to be in the company of people who get you, understand you, and have what we call real love for you. Yeah, people that get the whole of you, get that you get tired, get that you're a dick sometimes, get that you make mistakes, get that you forget to pick up the pint of freaking milk on the way home. Who gives a shit? Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. Believe me, I do readings on people where they're divorcing over things like that, you know, petty stuff, not big stuff. So it's about in terms of existing relationships, it's about, if you're in a relationship, you're going to really want to feel that and that level of connection with your partner by then. All right, if you're single, then this month will have really shown you that you want to be with someone who gets your worth. Make sense? Gets your value, gets your worth, understands you. And so therefore, if you are looking for a relationship this month, I would say it will probably more likely to come in towards the end of the month. But it will also be about you wanting true love. So if, like a client today, you got offered a quick fix, because I've had to work with a client who's taken it very personally today, and I'm like, no, love, he probably sent that message to 20 people, to be perfectly honest. He was having an F, he wanted an F. Do you know what I mean? It's literally there. It's not about you, it's about him. But you know, that kind of person is not going to float your boat this month. So if someone is approaching you in that way, you're going to very quickly reject. But that's a good thing. Don't be frightened to reject what is less than for you, what's not worth you. Don't be frightened to reject that. And that will cross over also into business dealings, friendships, things like that. If you get an invitation, I don't know if you would at the minute with the thing, but if you've got an invitation to spend time with people that just don't get you, don't love and appreciate you, be busy. Yeah, don't have to fall out. Be busy. You've already got plans. Your plan is to lie on the sofa in your pajamas, watch Netflix and stuff your face with God knows what. But that's a plan, yeah? And you don't need to explain yourself. Make your own plans and enjoy your own life. So as I say, relationships-wise, romantic relationships-wise, you will be looking for a strong connection and not what I call a quick fix. Got to watch it. You need to wash your hair. Do you need to get ready, John? Prep for the dating scene. So it really is a month for dealing with personal feelings. You should feel much more self-confident. And it is very much a month to focus on inner well-being as much as sorting out the externals, because we could very quickly and easily get engrossed in sorting and prepping for the changes that are coming in with the announcements, for example, from last night. So watch though that you don't forget to take care of you through March. All right, it really is important. It is a month where we are going to be seeing relationships in a whole new perspective. It is also a month where people are going to want your company, but I advise you to choose who you're going to keep company with. All right. Now, Hannah. Did you see my, what they call it, a FOIPA, whatever it's called, I don't know, one of them things. But right then, I'm going to switch over now to the tarot. Is that helping you? Is it resonating? You drop me a comment, give me an emoji, let me know if you can already see and feel those energies starting to drift in. We always build into it. We're in the last week before, so let me know. I'm going to break the rest of the time down, and I'm going to start with love. Making sense to Donna. Good. It's a good month. We got to choose it to be, as always, but it is a good month. It is a good month. I think March is going to absolutely fly by. I really, really do. All right then, let's jump to love and let's have a look at what they will give me for love. So this month, yeah, you may be having to go through quite a shift, quite a change. You're still in that settling into a big shift and change perhaps around you. It's all about getting you to look realistically at your future. It is all about embracing change. All right, so there may be some light bulb moments. There may be some shock proposals coming in, but what it is about is recovering from going through a season where there has been a lack of love. Now, that could be just that, like so many people, since we did the lockdown from Christmas, I think so many people have fallen out of love with life. And to be honest with you, I've had pockets of it myself because of other things dealing with. But it is one of those where that needs to come to an end now, because March is the month to rise. It really is to rise up, out, and start to live again. Even if you can't live fully as you would choose, make some plans to do so and have some faith now. I think we're now into light at the end of the tunnel season, and you can start to make those plans. You can start to do that. So no change is coming. Sit in your throne, in your kingdom, your queendom, and bring the changes in. Look ahead, bring the changes in. March is a month to be proactive rather than just reactive. And I think that whenever we've gone into a lockdown, we've kind of switched modes into living very reactive, and it's made us kind of sluggish, and it's made a lot of us hit what I call, I think I described this in my week ahead, a comfort zone. And it's like we've got settled, and being in lockdown for what feels like 3 years to me, but anyway, being in lockdown has left us kind of not taking risks, and sort of just monotoning it rather than pushing ourselves a little bit, yeah, and just moving forwards and being very forward thinking and getting out of that comfort zone, out of that groundhog. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I've got to the point now, I probably shouldn't confess it, I'm driving to the yard to do my horses twice, so I don't remember bloody driving there. I'm so programmed into that. I'm having to change the way I drive to the yard. Do you know I'm staying conscious? Because I'm tripping out, because it's just like, well, it's kind of it's not mindless crap, but you know, when it's just like you don't even have to think about anything anymore. Anyone else with me? Because yeah, it is like a trance, Yvonne, it really is. And I in that is what I call that comfort zone energy. So if something requires us to get out of that trance state, that coma, lockdown coma we're now in, it's a bit of a oh. And there will be a lot of people go, oof, no, I quite like it here, right? But that's what we need to push through. Okay, and I'll call it the lockdown coma. I don't think, it is a good word for it, really, because we're numb. I think we're very, very numb. So when it comes to love, some will be recovering from past events. We need to ignore the past connections, whoever that was that asked me earlier, I won't name it. And we need to put energy into walking forwards and away from disappointments in love. A lot of changes have gone on for people. Now, it could be in existing relationships where you've had to bring a lot of change in over recent months, or even over the last 9 months. Lots of little changes that add up to a big change. Got to stop looking at the disappointment that meant that change needed to occur, and now focus on bringing in one final change, which may be the inner change, if you remember me talking about that, to step forwards beautifully in love with yourself and letting go of disappointment. So it's a month to heal when it comes to love, but it also is a month to recognize you've always got options, you just need to be brave. All right, just be brave. And the biggest challenge in love is to go into the victim mode. All right, so watch for going into victim mode. Now, and let's say this is love and relationships. So it could be with family members, yeah. Ah, bless you. But when we've been in love with somebody, it hasn't been wrong. It's just, it served its journey. Nothing has been wrong. It's served purpose. It's served journey. When a connection is extremely difficult, it's what we call a soulmate connection. I know there's a few here that could put their hands up. You've been in one of those? Put your hand up. I always joke with the young girlies that come to me wanting to know if they're going to meet their soulmate. I always joke, say, no, you don't want to. Get a human one. Yeah, because soulmate is bloody hard work. Yeah, it is bloody hard work, and you both have to be willing, and you both have to be equal in the energy that you put into the relationship. So part of that forgiveness is to not look back on past connections. It is hard, it is very hard, but the part of healing is to not look back on the connection as a failing, because it's absolutely served purpose, whether it's healing, a karmic play out, a growth, or whatever. All right. And it's about stepping forwards and not punishing yourself. It's about forgiving yourself for the choice of remaining in that relationship. Normally with soulmates, we stay there a bit longer than we should. All right. If we do come out of it at all, then we tend to stay there a bit longer than we should. But it is about moving forwards. So lots of healing, lots of looking at options, but there is this feeling of coming out of limbo. So if I was in a relationship, I would be making plans this month. I would make plans. What are we going? I might not be able to act on them, but I would make plans for how I'm going to move forwards when the minute we come out of this lockdown state. I can't remember what the date is. I think something like the 12th of April, isn't it? Something like that. I would be making plans. I would be booking a bloody table now. You know, or whatever. I would quickly get on Groupon and get that voucher for a weekend away before they before they get bombed out. You know, I would be doing things like that. I would be planning things that are about fun, that are about connection, that are about togetherness if I was in a relationship. And if I was single, which I am, don't know why I said I was, as I am single. If you are a singleton like me, let's put it that way, then what I would be saying to you is again, if you've been chatting to people or whatever, you can start to make plans and have things to look forward to. But it's about knowing in your mind and in your heart that something better is coming in. And you don't need to know when. It will come in when you are ready and they are ready. And people always forget this in relationships, that there's two, and both of you need to be ready to form that connection. Yeah. So just know it's not, if it's not happening, it ain't your fault, it's him or her. They've just got to catch up yet. Okay. Right then. Yeah, John's camper van is raring to go. Kath's booked a holiday. Brilliant. Yeah, and these are the things I would be doing. It kind of feels safe to do that now. If you understand what I mean, like mentally, emotionally, feels safe to make plans. And that's how you will bring yourself out of this energy that we have been sat in for so long. All right. So give me a thumbs up or an emoji if that has helped you. If you can see how that could be helping you moving forwards, let me know. All right, lovelies. Right then, let's have a look at work and money. The two are always intertwined. Let me have a look, work and money. So this month, there's not like masses and masses of different planetaries, but what there is quite intense energy. Okay. Now, when it comes to work and money, there is a need to allow communication to go on. There is a need to be very mindful of how you communicate within that communication, especially if it is about challenges on challenging situations, whether they're yours with whoever, or it's about their situation or stuff like that. So there is a need to watch the language that you use when you are communicating in business. Now, there are endings. Now, that could be coming out of the work situations you've been in, working from home, things like that. We could start to see that light at the end of the tunnel. Some of you will even be ending roles and starting new ones. Some of you may have that ending forced upon you. But I see this as a positive to choose your world and look at your options again and make a choice that you are going to love. This is the month you need to get back on top of your game, whether you're employed or you are in business. That is what this month is all about, is getting back on top of your game, because there's a need to look at financials, there's a need to look at planning, there's a need to look at how you practically do things. I don't know, schedules, whatever, childcare, whatever it is. There is this need to take back control, take back your power, and use that attractive energy that I talked about to get things to move forwards for you. It is also good if you are working in community, working with groups of people, working with families. You will be helping those people rise, helping those people recover, helping those people find a new sense of balance and purpose in their own worlds. So keep your mind in their business, not in yours, if you get what I mean. Remind yourself what the work you do is about. So I know someone here works with people with mental health. So yes, it's your job and blah, 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 but it's about the people with the mental health welfare. That's what you're doing. That's how you serve others. Make sense? So keep focused in doing that work, fulfilling your mission, your purpose within that work, and then you too will have a sense of connection and belonging and purpose in what you are doing. So it is a month to help others through what you do. Does that make sense to you? All right. And as I say, even if it's like, I don't know, if you're a PA and you've just got you've got a real old-fashioned boss and PA, just know that you are helping his life, his family, etc., etc. Things like that. That you look at it from that perspective. What are you doing to help others in the world when it comes to work? Choose to enjoy that part of the work, and you will be rewarded better. There will be some of you who will be looking at work opportunities coming up long term and wanting to move those forwards, wanting to get involved in them. There, you know, and be planning and knowing where you need to now go with your work. It may be that the lockdown seasons we've been in have really shown you that you need to, I don't know, up your skill set, change how you work, things like that to get you to move forwards in a much stronger way coming out of it. And that is again where that end of an era feeling comes in. Some of you will walk away from people, whether that's clients, work colleagues, or the employment you're in right now, because as we come out of this season that we're in, we're going to want to create a whole new world, as I call it. And we need to create a life that is very, very much about us. Okay, so be open to communication, be open to opportunities, listen for opportunities, because although you cannot see them at the moment, by the end of the month, they should be starting to come in for you. So keep those options open whilst building your work situation back up, or reinventing it a little, or just really getting back into doing what you do and enjoying the passion of it. So many will be taking new paths this month when it comes to work. And obviously I'm talking about March. Does that make sense to you so far? Yeah? Let me just see what else they will give us before I open up for questions. So it is a powered up month, and I feel that energy will really build and build and build, woo, as the month progresses. And again, every action you take, every step you take is taking you towards a victory in March. So be very mindful of where you place those feet, be mindful of where you take those steps, and remember everything is about intention. All right, so let me look at a general on the month ahead for you all. So again, that commitment energy is coming in, and that is in work and that is in love as well. We are looking at our commitments. We are looking at whether we have faith in our ability to maintain them, whether we want to walk forwards within those roles. And it is about planting seeds, sowing seeds, and starting to build for the future. Looking at options. Some of you will be juggling money this month. All right, some of you will be juggling money and sorting all of that. But I would say to you, just keep going and it will balance. Just keep going. Don't start buying expensive items, but keep going. All right, and it will balance out. There is this need to stop going back to the challenges of the past, the communication of the past, and start moving forwards. So again, as I often say, stop going over old ground, step forwards and embrace it. Stop analyzing everything, okay? It's kind of one of those move along, nothing left to see. You want to keep beating yourself up. You want to keep holding yourself down by going round and round and round on that merry-go-round. You keep going, but it's pointless. Yeah, it is pointless, and it will be a shame, because you will have missed out on this fabulous, vibrant energy that is coming in as the month progresses. So this is a month for the rebuild, as I call it, and I would say to invest in what you feel will make you happy long term. This isn't a month to go for quick fixes, and I don't just mean sexually. I mean in terms of work, friendships, do you know what I mean? All of those kind of things. If you're looking for work, I would say to you, be looking for a long-term position, not 2 weeks temp job. Put your energy into looking for the long-term role at this point. This is very much about your focus, and it's like the universe is looking to see who is going to rise. Yeah, who is going to succeed, who is going to come up a level out of this experience, or who has not gone through any growth during the experience that we have been in. It is very much about long-term happiness, and that's in family life as well. So bear in mind this month to be sure that your actions, your decisions will secure your family's long-term happiness as well, not just your own. Okay, be mindful of other family members at this point. And you may even see family members doing their beginnings, starting their journeys, taking their steps forward. And, you know, so there is a bit of a shake-up and a change towards the end of the month, because we're going to be in a different place by the end of March to where we are now. Okay, and unless we sit on the sofa and just eat quavers for the next 4 weeks, you know, in which case I just like say, well, what do you expect? You know, I talk from a place of doing and being. So by the end of March, you will be in quite a movement, and then quite some of you may even be moving home, because your home now needs to reflect you. All right, but it is about getting comfortable in the new you, in the new position you are in, and through this new shift and change and shake up that since Christmas it has been about. So this is a month where wishes and hopes can still come true. Do not lose hope this month. All right, hope for me is holding on to positive expectation. Okay, don't lose hope, or you will slink, and you'll slink and slide down into that negative spectrum of victim energy, thinking that everyone is lying to you, deceiving you. Paranoia will kick in, and you'll be miserable, and so will everyone else around you, quite frankly. All right, so this is the month where I would be happier to hear you say, I'm so positive that I'm pissing people off. All right, that's your mission for the month of March. So I'm going to stop the recording now and open up the conversations.